Let me start by saying this. I hate podcasts. I've never understood them. There's maybe like two that I've ever listened to that I would willingly listen to again. I just don't get it. And now you may be wondering, Claire, how can you hate podcasts? You have a podcast. No, my friends. I have what's called a Notcast. It's a new thing I'm starting. It's everything I wish I could change about podcasts changed. I think it's great. But since November, I have gotten one question more than almost any other question, which is, Claire, what is a Notcast? Why are you doing this? So I thought I'll just take this time to answer that, and we'll never have to talk about it again. Everyone will just know, and it'll be like an inside joke between, me and the internet. So let's start with my first gripe with podcasts. An hour is too long. 45 minutes, still too long. 30 minutes is doable, but it's a long time for me to not respond to who is speaking. And sometimes I find myself talking to podcasts, but that's a different conversation for a different day. So what I did was, instead of 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, my gosh, some people have like 3-hour podcasts. I hate that idea. What we're going to do is we're going to talk for 10 minutes. I'm going to take the best little bits, cut it down to 5 minutes, and just post that. I really like when they land exactly on the 5-minute mark, but like some conversations, I wish there was a little bit more context. So I leave it in, and you're not allowed to get mad at me for that because, again, they're my rules, Nothing's real. I think that's honestly the perfect amount of time for us to share kind of what we're thinking about a certain topic, and then for you to say to somebody else in your life, I heard this thing the other day. What do you think about that? And start the conversation for yourself. You could talk for 3 hours. Maybe don't record it and put it on the internet, because I definitely won't listen to that. Number 2, I don't love the radio show host feel of some podcasts when they bring in guests and they have no real relational equity or conversational chemistry. And so it has to be an hour long, because you take the first 30 minutes to get comfortable with each other enough to actually talk instead of just individually making your own points. We're doing that differently, okay? What I'm trying to do is have conversations with people about something they're passionate about, or a thing I've noticed about them that I admire. We chat for 10 minutes. And because we know each other well, I don't need an hour to get comfortable enough to have these conversations or ask the deeper questions that I want to ask. I'm just going to do it because we're friends. And I think it just makes it a little bit easier to listen to. I think it kind of solves the issue that I have with so many podcasts, where it's just like, this feels so uncomfortable. This conversation feels so forced. It's weird. So we're not doing that. Another thing I'm doing differently is, this is all very like organic feeling, The first time I filmed one, it was kind of as a joke, just in someone's living room. Shout out to Jerry and Lucetto. It was filmed right here one time. It was filmed at a party one time. Like it just happens when it happens. There's no big setup, lighting. Some of the videos are like kind of grainy. I like that. I like being able to do it spontaneously with friends, just kind of flow. It feels easier. Pressure's off. There's no big to do about it. So that's another thing I love about my Notcast. Some people have said, why just 5 minutes? Why not do 10, 15, 20 or whatever? And I think I love that. First of all, I like that people are asking for more, because I want to hear more from my friends too. I really like what we're doing here. If you give me an hour to talk about something, I'm going to fill that time. If I know that this is going to be a 5-minute video, I have to ask myself, what do I think is most important about this thing that I'm passionate about? I'm going to say that. It kind of cuts out, first of all, it makes editing a lot easier. It cuts out the ramble and kind of cuts straight to the point, so that people can take the conversation and carry it on their own without feeling exhausted by the topic. We've had some really cool topics so far that I wouldn't have always thought to ask certain people about had it not been for this format. That brings me to my last point. I would love to know. Now we're in season 2 because it's 2024 and I decided it's season 2. If you have a specific question for people or a topic that you want somebody to talk about, you know, let me know. I think that that would be a really fun little collaborative thing. And I think it takes the pressure off people when I say, do you want to be on the Notcast? And they're like, I would never know what I would want to talk about. So easy. The conversation started already. I'm going to have to cut this down to 5 minutes too. Welcome back to the Notcast.